We have a lot of open world MMOs and RPGs coming out over the next couple years. The Seven Deadly Sins Origin, Tower of Fantasy, Arcto Chronicles, Arknights Enfield, but today I want to talk about something that I'm sure none of you know about. A game that is both considered an MMO and an RPG, yet simultaneously possesses no absolute, definitive confirmation from the developer as of yet: Wuthering Waves. So then why are we even wasting our time in an attempt to cover it if so little is known about it? Well, on the contrary, there is enough publicly known here to warrant a full dedicated video like this. Quick shout out to our patrons over on Patreon. This allows you to directly support us if you're interested. Every patron will have their name appear at the beginning of every single YouTube video, and you'll be immortalized in the MMO genre forever. Wuthering Waves is a brand new upcoming global action MMO or RPG. We're still currently not sure. From Kuro game. You might know them as the developers behind the hit Punishing Grey Raven, an action game that I have covered a multitude of times due to how good this game is. And up until recently, all we had was a name and a few instances of both an English and Chinese release in the works. Yet, as of just a couple days ago, we have official confirmed artwork. And I know, wow, STIX, a single picture, that's incredible. And admittedly, I am aware that it is not, but this single picture, which was posted onto their Facebook page along with the sci-fi themed header, provides us a little glimpse into its world. And before you immediately jump to conclusions about the email listed on the Facebook page, much like you, I was not at all convinced that this was an official page seeing wutheringwaves@gmail.com. Like, legit, what kind of developer making millions of dollars off of a successful game like Punishing Grey Raven isn't going to opt for an official website for their project? But a fellow YouTuber, Chaotic, and many players within the Chinese community both confirmed that this is, in fact, verified by the Punishing Grey Raven staff to be their official page for the game. Maybe they haven't decided on a name for the game yet, and as such they didn't want to finalize a domain until they're in fact ready. The little information we do have at present is that this game is going to be an entirely new intellectual property. It might have ties to Punishing Grey Raven, it might be entirely disconnected, but it is being built separately as something that does not need to rely on its predecessor or its name. This is going to be an entirely open world game. There are going to be no loading screens with the exception of things like dungeons or raids or PvP, I guess. This means seamless exploration as you traverse the massive world. It will utilize action combat, and honestly, going off of the kind of action combat that we see in Punishing Grey Raven, man, this is going to be absolutely incredible. Punishing Grey Raven has some of the best action combat in the genre, and this is not only going to have a larger budget, but a more experienced team this time round. This is going to be releasing both in Chinese, its region of origin, and in English. It's unconfirmed if this will be a simultaneous release in both languages, but many people speculate it will, as both were confirmed at similar times. Again, it's unknown whether this is going to be an MMO or not. There are rumors going around that it will be, and there are others that claim that it'll either be a single player or a multiplayer cooperative RPG. Now, it is worth noting that supposedly the developers will be taking inspiration from none other than Final Fantasy XIV, as opposed to a gacha game like Genshin Impact. This leads players to strongly believe that it is going to be an MMO on the scale of something like 14, but with action combat. Regardless of which of the three types of game they do in fact opt for, this is going to be a massive success, if they can pull it off. There are two things that players want from Punishing Grey Raven: for the game to be set in an open world and for a PC client, probably linked to Steam or something for ease of use and access. So if this game manages to essentially be Punishing Grey Raven in an open world setting with more funding and on a larger scale, this could very well be the largest competition any of the aforementioned games face. Wuthering Waves, The Seven Deadly Sins Origin, Arknight's Enfield Tower of Fantasy, all full open world action games with anime aesthetics to appeal to our very demographic of player. Chaotic did note that the devs confirmed that we'll have more info soon, although that term is used to describe anything between a week to a year from now, so I'd honestly take it with a grain of salt. We also don't have a release date set, or heck, even a release year yet. I mean, we don't even know how far through the development process they are, unfortunately. Either way, while we have limited information right now, we have enough to get a gauge of whether or not this is something that might interest us. Me? Dude, definitely. This seems right up my alley, and I'm already excited. I love anime games. I love Punishing Gray Raven. This game is a personal favorite of mine that I wasted an entire month on the day it launched, spending, well, admittedly a little bit too much money on it. Don't tell MRSSSTIX. But I know this won't appeal to everyone. It doesn't need to. But what do you guys think? For those of you interested in a full list of confirmed upcoming MMOs slated for release this year though, I got you covered with this video on screen right now.